Good evening, Liebchens. Let's call this little movie Being Transsexual Part 2. Because I've got 3 points that have been rattling around in my head and I'd like to address them if I might, so please bear with me, okay? The first point is, being transgender in the modern world has less to do with the clothes you wear, the restroom you use, or the pronouns that get used in reference to you, or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, those things and more are all very important, but don't confuse your favorite brand of jeans or the icon on the door of the restroom you use with the fact of your existence, because the former is merely an indicator of the later, okay? A signpost, you're on your way to a destination and not the destination itself, okay? The restroom you use to pick one topic currently in vogue with the transgender community is a sign of what you have achieved and that you have successfully adopted the social role of the gender you aspire to present, and not an achievement in itself. You have to present that way all the time. This isn't a one-off thing, okay? Well, I did it last month, so I can ease off. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? Similarly, I don't like the idea of flashing my driver's license everywhere I go, so sometimes you, like me, will have to kind of bite the bullet and accept being called sir or ma'am when you really want to receive the opposite pronoun. The other day at work, I got called young man. Now, I didn't know if I should be flattered at being told I was young or hacked off because this person called me a man. Okay? Here's another point that's been rattling around in my head, and I'm kind of sore about this one, okay? The transgender community owes much to the efforts of the LGB community. The LGBs have fought many battles on our behalf, but they are two separate things, okay? Our issues are very different from theirs, and they have made it so. They have barred us from participating in pride events. In many cases they still do, and certainly it's only been very recently that they've stopped doing this. And this isn't fair, because the modern gay rights movement and the 3 events that are sort of the pillars of it, the Stonewall riots in San Francisco, the Compton's cafeteria actions in San Francisco, Stonewall was in New York, by the way, the Compton's cafeteria actions in San Francisco and the Cooper's Donuts episode in Los Angeles all began due to the actions of transgendered people, not gay people, okay? The gay and transgender communities were separate at least until Stonewall, and in many ways they continued to be separate for years afterwards. The LGB community celebrates the anniversary of transgender people swinging back at the police and laughing, okay, when they had nothing to do with any of the pillar events. They came along later. Yes, there were gay people at Stonewall, but they did not face automatic arrest the way transgendered people did there, okay? And I have it on good authority from people who were at Compton and at Cooper's that there were no gay people present there. Those were places where it was safe for transgender people to go because there weren't any gay people around. Okay, and then look at what happened. Look at how those events have become part of the whole gay pride thing. Okay, the third point that's rattling around in my head is kind of an observation on the lifestyle that transgender people have to make. Okay, each person, whether you're LGB, transgender, or just an ordinary folks, a muggle, must find their own lifestyle which balances a couple of factors: acknowledgement of your likes and dislikes, and practicality. It may very well appeal to you to be a flaming, flamboyant homosexual, but you can't live that way. Not all the time. Just ask somebody who is. And I know a few. They're not like that all the time. Similarly, you may be an ultra-feminine fish, but it's not always practical to spend a solid 2 hours on your hair and paint every morning. In fact, there are drag queens who don't spend that long on their paint for a show, okay? I know a few of those too. That first step out the door may be so liberating that you may wish to paint up that extensively all the time, but it will eventually occur to you to give the exhaustive preparation a rest and be, I don't know, normal? You know, something to think about. Find your level, because you can't do that all the time. Be a person. Good night.